Anybody who has put considerable effort into creating new habits understands it's way more difficult than we assume it to be. You can't just introduce 50 new habits into your life at once. It simply doesn't work. Even introducing one new habit is incredibly hard. So what I've been contemplating today is like, in relation to forming relationships, which ultimately leads to new habits being formed, whether consciously or unconsciously. I'm just rethinking relationships again, like it's a theme at the moment. So I want to highlight some insights that I'm having as I'm having them. If you're new here, this is my video journal. It's not intended to be advice or guidance. I'm just expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. Okay, so what I've come to realize is when you start a new relationship, if you move too quickly, you're two people who are running their own programs and their own habits, and a lot of it's automatic. I can't remember the quote, but a really high percentage of our behaviors are automatic. Like with any kind of habit or pattern that you have, you don't think about it, you just do it. Like you don't think about drinking water or brushing your teeth or having a shower. Like all of these things just happen. It's not a lot of conscious participation. Like you can be daydreaming about something else while you're doing most of the things that you do. So what happens when you take two people who are running their own original programs and just fuse them together all of a sudden? Like, because my overarching insight about relationships for myself is that I've been rushing them every single time, and not just a little bit, way too much. I've been trying to form relationships in a way that is totally impossible. I've been doing the relationship equivalent of trying to form 500 new habits at once. And of course that's going to generate conflict, resentment, all of these ugly things that, and then like you're guilty, you're blaming yourself or you're blaming the other person. So as I'm like mixing these two ideas together and having these insights, like, because I've been thinking about habits because I'm not in a relationship right now. But then I noticed, like, if I'm going to start something new with somebody, maybe I should just start off with one new habit in relation to that person. Like maybe we get coffee on Friday morning. That's the new habit, and start with that. And then maybe we get dinner on Wednesday night, and then that's two habits. But you like do coffee on Fridays for a month first, and then do dinners and the coffee for a month after that, and sort of build up this relationship much slower than I've ever really done it before. And it's quite counterintuitive, I feel, because when you meet somebody, you get excited, you get motivated, you get full of energy, and you just want everything. You like when you're infatuated or you're feeling lust or any of those kinds of things that come with meeting somebody new and interesting, you just want it all to happen now. And so this is probably the key that's like unlocking these insights for me, because I've been doing that with, like, I just want to get fit, healthy, I want to write, I want to record, I want to do everything, and I want to do it now. Like, and as I'm realizing that about just independently how bad that is when I'm trying to form consistency in my life, I've had the epiphany that it's that same attitude is hurting my ability to form relationships. So I'm going to make a conscious effort. I'm going to treat relationships now like building habits, and I'm going to really consider like the amount of focus and effort that needs to go into forming new habits with another person. Like that's even more complex than just doing it with yourself. Like if I want to work out like twice a week, I can fuck around and like say I'm going to do it at 8 o'clock and I don't actually do it till 11. That's fine. But with another person involved, like you don't want to waste each other's time either. So we make all these agreements and all of these new patterns and all these new things that we're going to share together, and then we expect it of each other and we expect it of ourselves, and we're not even sure if it's good for us yet. And it's also probably scrambling so much of your existing patterns and behaviors, because every time you change one thing, it affects everything. And there's a really popular concept called homeostasis, which is like your inner thermostat. Like if you start exercising a lot, homeostasis kicks in and says, get more calories into your body. And so then we overeat. So you're doing all of this exercise and then you're eating 3 times as much food and you're actually gaining weight, which is something that I've also learned recently, because I've been like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, like I probably need to eat more, but like I probably could have eaten like 10% more and that would have been fine, or even eaten the same and the exercise would have been good. Like it would have created balance, but because I've immediately corrected, like, and it's unconscious too, like I'll automatically go for the bigger meal when I'm out, or I'll automatically go for the sugary drink. Like I can afford it, and it all adds up, and you're not actually sure like how many calories you're burning and how many calories you're eating. And I don't want to oversimplify health and fitness to like calorie counting either, because I don't believe in that. I believe in like holistic, like make sure you get your vitamins, your minerals, and like all the micro and macronutrients are taken care of first before you even think about nonsense like protein powders and all that other stuff. Like just fuel your body with the essentials and take care of yourself. But I'm not a health person at all. I'm just like figuring it out as I go along. But yeah, the premise of the video is like, if it's so intense to change your own life, like I think we should give more credit to ourselves for being able to change our lives with another person. Like if there's 2 of you and you're sharing experiences, you're sharing time, and you're changing your habits together, like you should be giving each other a high five for being able to navigate that, especially if you're doing it with low amounts of conflict and resentment and all that ugly stuff that manifests when you're stepping on each other's toes. And it might sound extreme to like slow down so much. It sounds extreme to me because I'm so used to 0 to 100. Let's do this. I like you. I'm into you. Let's do everything. Let's party. Let's scramble the entire puzzle and start it over again. Let's see what we can create together. Like I'm bold. I'm fearless. I love just going for it. But I'm at a point in my life now where I've scrambled it and put it back together hastily so many times, and now I really want to build something with intent, and something that every piece that I've put in place I'm proud of, and I love it, and I want it to be that way. And then as I invite other people to collaborate with me in my creation, like I want them to be proud of everything that they've done too, and I want the agreements to be real, like we actually both agree this is awesome, let's do more of this, and not just like no people pleasing shit. That's old, real old programming to me now. Like no just needing to be liked, no insecurity, no jealousy, let all that go. That's far on the horizon behind me. But even beyond that, like not just not having all the crap, I also want to focus on only creating stuff that's a fuck yes, let's do this. Like let's have this as a part of our lives. Because I think that's a big insight on top of all of this, Like, realize that what you're creating, it becomes a pattern, it becomes a habit, it becomes something that repeats itself. It's not like you just do a fun thing one time and that's the end of it. You go out for a bender on the weekend with your mates and go, that was a really fun bender, and now you're free to create whatever you want to create next weekend. The likelihood that you're going to go on another bender increases every time you go on a bender. You're programming it. So every first thing that you do should be amazing. Like, it should be very intentional. That's how I feel in the present moment. And newness, this is a quote from this morning, something I was watching. Newness doesn't create itself. Newness needs to be created. New possibility needs to be created intentionally. If you don't go out of your way to create new things, new possibilities, new habits, new connections, nothing happens. Everything stays the same. It's so automatic, the way that we're living as human beings in the 21st century, and it's becoming more so. And there's so much influence from outside that's coming in to program you more in the interests of big money and big nonsense, that like you're losing yourself and you don't even know that you're lost. And even when I'm conscious of it, I'm still in it. Like, I can't, like, it's not like I'm not as free as I ever imagined myself to be. Even though I'm more free than I've ever been in my life, it's still a shock to me to have this level of awareness where I'm like, actually there's so much that's going on that I have no control over. Or like, it's not that you don't have control, it's that to make a change to something, it's so much bigger than our intuitive mind can really comprehend. It seems so simple to live the life that you want to live and do what you want to do, live your dreams, go for it, do all that stuff. But it's actually quite a grueling process at times of like making these small incremental changes. And I just think there's so much value in all of this, and like you could contemplate it heaps after this video. I definitely will be, but I just wanted to highlight this in the present moment, just these thoughts. If you got anything out of it, please pass it on to somebody else you know who may benefit. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments down below. And I do have a website, kailives.com. Sometimes I remember to tell people that. It's pretty cool. It's going to be cooler. A lot of things on the horizon.